I have a question for you. Are you sending your kids to school or are you going to keep them home and homeschool them, aka online learning? What have you decided to do? There are some that have been given a choice, and there are some that have not been given a choice. There are some that have been given a choice to either send their kids to school or keep them at home. And then there are some that they've chosen for you, and you have to do online education. This pandemic has changed our lives permanently. Some things may go back to normal, but at the end of the day, it will always be in the back of our mind. This virus will always be in the back of our mind. And I know right now you are confused, you're angry, you're anxious, you're like, oh my God, how in the world is this going to work? I have to work, you could go out to work, you could be a single parent, male or female, and you're the only one doing it. Um, oh my gosh, it's absolutely crazy, and it's a whirlwind, and school is getting ready to start, and what? I don't want to homeschool my kids. I want to send them to school. I want them to get an education. I want them to play with their friends. And I want to go to work. I want everything to go back to normal. How many times have you said that to yourself? I want everything to go back the way it is. But unfortunately, I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. It's never going to go back the way it was. We've been scarred for life. Our economy has been damaged. Lives have been ruined. Jobs have been lost. People have died. Families have lost several. It's not going to go back. So, saying all that, what I want to relay is you can do it. Once you allow yourself to feel the emotions, the anger, the confusion, the fear, don't stay in that state. Once you let that out, because I'm an advocate for feeling your emotions, not covering them up and not pretending like they're not there. But I don't want you to stay there. It's time for you to be creative. School's getting ready to start, whether they go to school or they stay home. And I think if not the majority, will probably be staying home. Or it might be a 50-50 split, depending on if your county, your mayors and governors decide whether they want to open the school. My daughter has my grandson, so I'm an advocate for keeping them home because I actually homeschooled using the Abeka curriculum for my son and my daughter, who is 40 and 34. So I'm an advocate for homeschooling, and I'm also a homeschool mom. So when I found out that they were thinking about sending the kids to school, and some people were actually saying, oh, they can't really catch it and they'll be okay. Excuse me, had to get a drink. Throat's getting dry. I immediately went in grandmommy mode and I was like, no. I majored in biology, and viruses do not do not dictate. They don't know who they're going to attack and what they do. They just attack. And once they get into your body, your body is responsible for how you react to that virus. So there is no virus on this planet that you can absolutely say it just only affects a certain group of people. It affects everyone, and your body is responsible on how you fight it off. So enough of that. Let's get back to the fact that you can do this. So now you're going to let yourself feel, be angry, be emotional, and now you're going to take that negative energy, turn it around to positive, and now you got to be creative. How can you make this work? Single parents, single moms, how can you make this work? Single dads, how can you make this work? Mom and dads that work out of the house, how are you going to make this work? What was I going to say? So I did single moms, single dads, moms and dads. How are you going to make this work? How can this work? You got to be creative. It's like, now you got to tell yourself, when it's all the dust is settled, you have to tell yourself that you can do it. We got to, okay, let's get together. How are we going to make this work? I would suggest go ahead and get the kids new book bags and get their school supplies and maybe get them a new outfit for the first day and take that first day of pictures. The first day of school in the pandemic, oh my God, how fun will that be? Come on, guys, they're children. They like to have fun. They don't know anything about your anxiety about how in the world am I going to help my child at home school and then work too. My daughter actually works from home. Her husband, my son-in-law, is a realtor, so he works out of the home. And she is going to be keeping home and doing online schooling with my 16-year-old and my 10-year-old grandsons. So, and I think she's still anxious about it because she didn't ask to be their teachers, and the kids need to get back to school as soon as possible. But for right now, this is what we have. We can't change this, so we need to figure out what we can do to create this new life, because like I always say, the life that we knew pre-corona is over, and we have to now create a new norm. I've had to do that with an illness, and now I have to do this with a pandemic. Interesting. Yeah, back to back. So, this is not about me. Maybe that will be another video eventually when I feel led to share. But right now, this is about you and encouraging you and letting you know that you can do it. You're going to be okay. For those who are structured, you're going to have to throw structure out of the window. Just relax. And I was thinking about, those fans you have in church that look like they're on a big popsicle stick? I think that would be a cool thing to maybe get and create a sign that you could possibly hold up. This is for my moms and dads that work from home, so that when you situate the kids to start, you're going to have to train the children to do as much on their own as possible, independent learning, so you can work. And then if they have a question and you're on a conference call or you're busy answering emails, instead of, you could hold up the sign that says, not now, later, one moment, something like that. And then that way the child or children will know that you can't talk to mommy or daddy right now because I'm working. Then when you get a moment, you answer their questions, and that's how you're going to have to juggle it. It can be done. Now, my daughter did call up to the school to see how this online learning is going to be, and they're not ready, they're not organized. But to be fair to everybody, the school system was not created for all the teachers to teach online. So they're anxious, they're confused, just like you are. So you can do it. It's very important that you go ahead and start being creative. So how is your day going to look? And I'm going to use my daughter because I'm very involved with their lives. So I know I was an advocate for keeping the kids at home, but of course I kept that opinion. I might have mentioned the opinion to my daughter, but I had to allow her to make that decision because she's the one working from home and she will be the ones teaching the children. Now, I would like to be more involved with the children, but right now I have a condition that I am recovering from, and so I'm not able to go over there every day and help her out. But I don't know, I might be able to help her out with Zoom. But since the kids have been out, my grandkids have been officially, their last day of school was March 13th to this year, 2020, which was Friday the 13th, and they never went back. So at that point, they were doing online. Everybody, I think, across the nation was basically doing online in the United States. And so they've gotten used to, the kids are very savvy on the computer, so they've gotten used to being online, contacting the teacher and that type thing, because that's something they do on a regular basis. I think both of them do most of their work on a tablet. The school gives them a tablet. So they're very computer savvy. They already have gotten used to contacting the teacher and figuring out what's going on. So it's not a problem. The creative side of this is going to be, how do you blend it all? How do you get everybody up, do breakfast, you log in, have to go to work, that type thing. What needs to be done? The typical day, I would make it as normal as possible. Get up, get dressed. Nobody schools in their pajamas. Get up, get dressed, make your food, make your beds, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, get your computers, and let's start your day. I would try to keep it as normal as possible. And then you got to log into work if you go in. If you go out and you live with an extended family, if you have the grandparents living with you, or you live with an extended family and they're not working, you may have to employ somebody or ask somebody if they would help you with your children. What if you have to go out to work and you can't be home to be there? Is there somebody else that could do it for you? So you have to be creative, an uncle, a cousin, a grandparent, someone to help educate the kids. You've always heard that it takes a village to raise a kid. Well, now it's time to use the village. So be encouraged. Be encouraged. You're going to be fine. You can do it. And yes, welcome to life during a pandemic. Yes, I have been super anxious. I have been depressed. But I've gotten used to the life. I've gotten used to wearing the mask. I've gotten used to everything being just kind of, it's like taking a box full of puzzle pieces and throwing them up in the air, and they've all splattered everywhere on the floor. And my job is to pick up those puzzle pieces and figure out what the scenario is, because my life pre-corona is gone. It's been destroyed. Not of any will of our own, but it happened. And don't forget, change the things you can. And the things that you can't, you're going to have to just pray about and let them go. Don't dwell too much on what you can't do, but right now it's about school, and it's about how are you going to create a safe, positive space for your children and yourself as you embark on this journey of working from home and educating your kids online. Online learning, working out of this home, and still your kids can't go to school because the school's not opening. So who's going to be there for your children? Who is going to be there to actually overlook their online learning? Because that's what you're going to be doing, overlooking the online learning. What does it look like for the mom and dad to go to work? Maybe somebody needs to call their job and tell them this is what's happening. Can I have this day off? And maybe if you have Monday and Wednesday off and your spouse has Tuesday and Thursday, you're going to have to tag team the kids. So you can do it. You will do it. You're going to be okay. These just are a few suggestions. I'm here to encourage you to be. You're going to be okay. Have fun with creating your new norm. Get a whiteboard. Get a chalkboard. Get a space where school's going to be. Make it look like a school. Take school pictures. Try to keep things as normal as possible, especially for the children, because if you're anxious, they're anxious. If you're depressed, they're depressed. If you're scared, they're scared. They have the same emotions. A lot of times they just don't know how to express. So let's get ready. Let's get ready to create this new life. The new life of juggling. You've already been juggling, so you know what it's like to juggle work, their school, extracurricular activity, and anything you want to do. So you can do it.